Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Today, inshallah, we are going to start our class by making an application on the daffodils from a reader's response point of view. This application will be presented by two of your sisters. But before we start, I think we have a sharing relevant to my last Duchess. So we are going to listen to the sharing before we start to the listening to the presentation. Please try to share your students, your ideas. Don't keep them for yourself. Okay, we will start. Yalla, go ahead.
Sharing. Okay. So, good morning, my colleagues. I really hope you're all doing well today. So in the last lecture, we discussed my last Duchess from reader's response perspective, and Dr. Ayman asked us to write like a poem, or to imagine that the poem were written from the Duchess perspective or point of view. So I tried to make so, and I posted my like poetic lines on the group yesterday at the night, but I very much like to share it with you here today. So this is where I wrote. That's my Duke standing there, telling things and things I can barely bear, thinking I'm on the wall and don't care. I sympathize with the man, for he can dare to tell him, please shut up, you took all the air. He should not, okay, he should not do so. From the Duke he should beware. For Pandulf didn't draw the picture of me there. It is not a wonder nor rare. With you this I must share. My smiles killed him, so he killed me, thinking that's fair. I was loyal to him, I swear, for his family name is all his fame, for I distorted it with my affair. Not you nor anyone can dare to accuse me, nor to treat me as a ware. I am who I am with no shame, although I'm there on the wall within a frame.
Really impressive. Yeah. Really impressive. Very good one. Right? Thank you very much. Right? If you don't mind, I'm going to publish it on my page. Right? Yeah. Excellent. Very creative. Okay, go ahead, Fatima and Afnan.
Welcome to the land of love, happiness, freedom, relief, and welcome to the land of daffodils. My name is Fatima Majid Lulu.
My name is Afnan Harara. And today, inshallah, we're going to apply reader's response theory on the daffodils. Now we know that the reader's response theory focuses on the reader. Does he like the text or not? Does he learn something new from the text or not? Yeah, so if we want to analyze the poem, what should we do? Which methodology should we follow?
There are several steps to follow this theory. First of all, you have to be in close reading. You have also to share your personal opinions, your experience, how the text affected you, and how the words entered your mind. So let's start, Afnan, with the first stanza by explaining it.
Yeah, so first I'm going to explain the stanza, and then I'm going to give my response. Now, first of all, he said that I wandered lonely as a cloud. We said that he wandered, which means that he walked without a purpose, and lonely, that he chose to be lonely. It's a state of lonesomeness, not loneliness. And as a cloud, he portrays himself as a cloud because it reflects the state of freedom and innocence and beauty. And then when he said, when all at once I saw a crowd, I don't know, like, it's impossible to see like a crowd of daffodils all at once. So he tries to tell us that I'm, as a poet, I can see what others cannot see. And when he used the word host, there's a collocation between the word host and the word and angels. And he used the description of the golden daffodils to show how the daffodils are close to him, how they are precious to him. And he used fluttering and dancing in the breeze. He makes a similarity between the butterflies and the beautiful butterflies and the dancing of the daffodils. Now, what comes to my mind when I read these lines, a tweet that I have read on Twitter a few days ago, which is, "A cloud come floating in my life, no longer to carry rain or usher storm, but to add color to my sunset sky." Now, if you realize that in both the text and in this tweet, they use the word cloud to say that, to reflect like the state of freedom and innocence.
According to my personal response to this stanza, I admired and agreed with the poet, especially in this stanza. And I say, I wish be a cloud or a free cloud to enjoy the harmony between the nature. And I say, I wish be a cloud, I'm literally a cloud to visit my land or to visit my stolen land and to see the simplicities of this nature, the golden daffodils or the other flowers. So let's go to the second stanza, and I will read it. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretch a never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. Here in this stanza, the writer or the speaker is expressing the harmony between the nature, the golden daffodils and the magnificent nature. He also used the simile from the figure of speech to make the image full of energy, powerless, and full of power. Also, when I read this stanza, I saw this. I see these lines as a wonderful lines, and I say that the daffodils are dancing and fluttering with the waves, with the trees, and enjoying the time. And the speaker, where is it? The speakers wonder if he like a cloud, and he can. Oh my gosh! The speakers feels like a cloud, distant, separated from the world below. However, this distance become a positive thing when he enjoy the daffodils. So, what's about your personal response, Afnan?
Actually, this is my favorite stanza because it brings back a lot of good memories. Well, when my family and I were in UAE, we used to go to the desert in winter, and we were sitting like around the fire and having fun and enjoying our time. It's like a desert. I don't remember the name. It's
In UAE, in United
Yeah.
Arab Emirates.
and my sister and I used to take our chairs and sit aside just to gaze at the stars. Now, imagine that you're sitting in a place where darkness is all around you and the only light is the light of the stars. It's like a really unforgettable sky. Until now, I haven't seen like the sky as it was in the desert.
Also, these lines reminds me of my own writing, and I say, in the sunshine of your kindness and thoughtfulness you show, the lovely flowers will bloom and grow. Friendship brings beauty to our days and joys to our world. It just comes naturally to wish nice things for you because you are nice in everything you say and do.
Oh, excellent.
Thank you. So whenever you see the reflection of the sunshine on the flowers, you feel comfortable and relaxed. And this is what do we mean by the life or the valuable life. So let's go to the third stanza.
But do you think the writer here is exaggerating about his own appreciation of the daffodils?
He may be exaggerating, but the life needs a lot of exaggerating. And the
Right.
nature needs a lot.
I mean, it is just a bunch of flowers at the end, Yeah.
No. Maybe to you it's like just flowers, but maybe to us it's like a friend, or it's like a soul, another soul to you.
Right.
A source of inspiration.
Yeah, a source of inspiration or imagination also.
Yeah. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. Now, the poet believes that the daffodils, they exceeded the waves in happiness. But I feel that all elements of nature, the waves, the daffodils, they're all the same. Yeah, they convey the same feeling of happiness to us as readers. So I don't believe that this thing in nature is better than that. The clouds, for example, is better than the sea or something like that. And when he said that a poet could not but be gay, I don't agree here with the usage of the word poet, because anyone, if any human being, if he's like in nature, he would feel happy, not only a poet. So I would say like
Why don't we understand it the other way around? That
Right.
anyone who is going to be happy in such a joking company, he is
A poet.
a poet.
right?
Yeah,
Right.
but I think that every human being, if he's like in, like when greenery is all around him and nature, he would feel happy. Like it's, not only a poet, you know.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I
there
mean,
is
not necessarily
to be a
right,
poet, to be-
anyone who enjoys this happiness. He's a poet,
Yeah.
and not necessarily a romantic poet, because according to our definition of the romantic poet, that he is supposed to have the ability to express himself properly.
Deeply, yeah.
So many people are poets, but they don't have that ability to express themselves
deeply.
properly.
Yeah.
and deeply.
Yeah. Okay, and then when he said, I gazed and gazed but little thought, how come like he gazed and gazed but little thought? Like if you gaze at something, you feel like you are in another world. If someone called you or someone talked to you, you won't respond to them. So I would say like I gazed and thought a lot, you know.
So according to my personal response to this stanza, when I read this stanza, I read it twice. I don't know how it affected me so deeply, and it entered my mind in different way. And I know that there is a famous poet, which is to his love for Spencer, and he said, "One day I wrote her name upon the strand, but came the waves and watched it away. Again I wrote it with a second hand, but come the tide and made my pains his prey."
But the speaker is an idiot, right?
Yes.
Why? Because how come he is writing her name on the beach and expects that it's going to stay forever?
Okay, Spencer and William Wordsworth both are talking about the nature. However, Spencer are talking about or portrays his poem as a monstrous nature, but William Wordsworth is talking about the peaceful of nature.
The explanation.
Okay, this is the last stanza, and I will read it also. For often, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye. Eh? They flash upon that inward eye, which is the place of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. After seeing all the daffodils and enjoying this time, now the speaker is in his home, and he is sitting at the couch, and he is recollecting the memory of seeing the daffodils, and he say which is the place of solitude. Whenever we see somebody or something, we take a first impression, and even if it is positive or negative, it will last forever. But to the speaker, it will last forever, but in a positive way. He tries to he tries to remember it when he want to remember, or when he want to take like a motivation for this life. So what's about your opinion, Afnan?
Yeah, the first line actually reminds me of my everyday routine. When I get back from university, I lie in my couch and I sit with my family and chat. And for the second line, or in vacant or in pensive mood, I don't agree with the idea that he used two contradictory words in one sentence. Like vacant mean empty mood, and pensive thinking of sad thoughts. And regarding the inward eye, I remembered a quote for Albert Einstein where he said, "A true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination." So I do agree with him, because when you imagine, you see like things that others cannot see, and you hear what others cannot hear, and you can express yourself deeply through imagination.
Yeah, it's really important, but we are not supposed to appreciate it as a God.
No.
This
Yeah.
is my own opinion at least. But here, right, William Wordsworth and Romantics, they consider imagination
As a god.
A god.
No.
Right? Yeah. They believe in imagination, that by imagination you can partake, right, the qualities of God, because you can create. That they think, right, that the main function of God is to create.
Yeah.
And by our practicing
We can
imagination,
create.
we are
You can create.
and therefore this is shirk,
Yeah.
Yes.
right?
Not to
Yeah,
that
it's
extent.
good.
It's good. Yeah.
Imagination is necessary for creativity,
Uh-huh.
right? And no one can
Not to
deny
that
it.
degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not supposed to consider it
As a god.
Yeah, not to that extent actually.
Good.
So in a nutshell, I like the way that I like the way of writing these daffodils, and I like the speaker's description of the field of daffodils, and to my personal opinion, due to the Israeli occupation, I cannot reach my land. I cannot go to there. I cannot enjoy, and I cannot see the daffodils or the field of flowers in the north or in the east. And I wouldn't be exaggerating if I say that my homeland is the best home forever. And I was born in United Arab Emirates, and Afnan was born too there. And there is no nature, no Greenland. All of there is buildings, machines, hypermalls. There is no pure air to live. All of them are like conditions, and like this civilizations doesn't affect you. It maybe يعني, it gives you something of like happy or some of funny or joy, but it doesn't give you the pure self or the pure soul. And thank you for listening. And we hope
We have
you
enjoyed the presentation.
Thank you both. You did very well. But let me ask you a question before you leave the stage. Do you think this text is important?
Yes.
Like why?
Because when I read it, I feel like my tensions are eased, you know.
Right. How about others? I mean that this text has been canonized as one of the most important poems in the English tradition. Why do you think this text is important? At least to you, right?
It brings back a lot of good memories, as I said, you know.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But how about from literary point of view?
From
Do you think it is really important?
Yeah.
What makes it different from other texts?
It's all about nature, the daffodils, you know. It's not like about other, I don't know, not important things, you know.
Yeah, anyone here? Yes, please.
The poem is not necessary to talk about war and serious issues to be important.
Good.
But such a good poem like Daffodils, it gives you such a relief, a kind of relief, yes, and it could make you happy when you're sad. So that makes the poem
Important.
important.
Susanna.
From my point of view, a writer writes because he expresses himself or herself, and for sure that there will be readers, they will find themselves in the text of this writer. But other writers may write from different subjects, and other writers might write about different subjects. This is what literature is about. Like you can find yourself in anything you like. I mean, it's not specific to be important. It might be important for someone, and it might not be important for someone.
Yeah, but I'm saying from literary point of view, this text has been canonized. You know what's been canonized? The canon, the English canon, means the most important literary works. They are usually compiled in a book called the Anthology, right? And therefore, this one is considered as one of the important texts that is canonized along the history of the history of the English literature. Yes.
That's because William Wordsworth is considered as a great.
Good, but the poem itself, someone might say, that it is just someone who saw
A flower, yeah.
In that time, this poem was appreciated because it had the principles of the Romantic period. So
Good, this is the point. Thank you very much. This is the reason
It is an application for
that this school, it actually chronicles or it lists all the school, principles of a literary theory, a modern, new modern literary theory after New Classicism. Because all the romantic principles are found in this poem, and therefore it is why considered as what we call it, one of the most important poems in the English literature, because It is actually what we call it the manifesto of the romantic theory. Wasn't it manifesto? إعلان. Thank you very much, sisters. You did well.